No pain, no gain is totally not what I'm all about. I think that referring to breaking down muscle and then building up again, which I is probably the right thing to do if you're breaking down muscle and building it up again. What I'm trying to do is to feel better, and I am doing flexibility, I am trying to build up strength, but what we're doing here is we're trying to find our personal edge, wherever that is, and there's no place that it has to be other than you find that, and then you just push a little bit beyond that. And each day, hopefully you feel a little bit better. You feel a bit more flexible. Your body and your mind and your breath becomes more and more in line. And this hopefully will help you in everything else you do. Whether it's creative work, whether it's working out and building up muscle, whether it's eating food, whether it's doing anything at all. So as you may know, I got into a car accident. I got beaten up a little bit, and I was starting to get really, really frustrated that I wasn't getting better as quick as I could be. And I woke up one morning and I felt like, hey, I feel really good today. And so I worked out, and I worked out way too hard, and I ended up screwing up my back. And then I couldn't work out, and I couldn't do even just the simple movement stuff that I do. And I started to eat more, and I started to become a little bit despondent. I sort of started saying, like, what the heck is all of this for? Why am I doing this? It has to start for myself first. It really has to start from me. I can't change anything. I can only sort of modify and maybe make myself better. And maybe then that helps you. Maybe it doesn't. But maybe you want to come on this journey with me to start feeling better. This is Feel Better with Lauren. I'm Lauren. Hit like, notify, and subscribe if you'd like. And let's just try some more movement. Welcome back. It's been a little while. It's been a couple of weeks, and I've been a little bit down, and now I think I'm going to start pushing and start putting more stuff out again for myself, and to get myself back into a better shape, both mentally and physically, sort of join my body and my mind. Just standing there is a good place to start, with your hands facing forward. And it gives you a chance to sort of, other than the bottom of your feet, obviously where you're standing on the ground, it sort of it gives you the opportunity to check in with all your different joints and muscles and your breath. You can feel sometimes that you're breathing way too shallow up here, and that you need to relax and put everything down into your belly and your whole body. We're going to move with our breath as we always do. We'll start by breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth and getting rid of all that stale air. And then after that, we're going to keep our mouth closed, breathing only through our nose, and sort of fogging up a mirror with our mouth closed. But with our mouth closed. And keep focusing on that, and you'll find that you'll move better. You'll start to become more connected. So let's just start here for 2 seconds with our palms facing forward. You can close your eyes, open your eyes. If you can get a little bit of sun on your face, or a little bit of wind in your hair, if you have hair. And let's just move around and just sort of check in with ourselves of what we're feeling. For me, I'm all locked up still in my SI joint. It just doesn't want to move. And that's going to be connected to my hips and connected to all my body. So I'm going to focus a little bit on that today. Maybe that's something that you need as well. Let's in through our nose and out through our mouth and get rid of all that stale air and get our lungs open to full capacity. So in through your nose. Now let's just keep breathing through our nose for the rest of this. I'm going to go to the back of the mat here. Just keep checking in with ourselves. Let's just do three, a big breath into the air. Take your hips forward just a little bit, and then breathe out. And put your hands in the middle. And again, a big circle around. And once more. Now let's just go down onto our knees, onto our toes, and stretch out the back of our feet. So just have your feet there for a second. That's a strong feeling for me. Just sort of, you can sort of lean into that a little bit forward, a little bit back. And then let's at the same time um, stretch out our wrists so we can push back and then lean forward and slowly back with our breath. And maybe a big counter clockwise circle. And the other way. Feel your wrist stretch. Nothing sharp pain or anything at all. Just sort of stretching around, feeling good. And then let's push back on the back of our feet. You want to feel that good stretch. We come up onto your heels and shake out your wrists a little bit. And then let's put our big toes closer together and our knees apart. And let's go down to child's pose. Just slowly go down. Keep your hips on your heels. And maybe this is as far as you can go. Maybe you can sort of stretch down and walk a little bit further. Don't hold your breath. Just breathe into that. With each sort of breath in through your nose, you sort of make a little bit of space. Your joints sort of come apart, and then you breathe out, and you're able to sort of stretch into that space. 2 more breaths. Now come forward to puppy pose, which is like a little puppy wanting to play. Your knees below your hips, and your arms again going forward. And let's only go to your limit, of course. Just kick your butt up in the air, and you stretch your hips a little bit more. Now come up to tabletop. Now our wrists are below our shoulders, our knees below our hips. And as we inhale, our head goes up and our belly drops. And then we exhale and spread your shoulder blades apart and tuck your pelvis in. And inhale the other way. And then back to cat. Let's do 2 more of those. Inhale, drop your belly as much as you can. And exhale, tuck your hips. Last one. Exhale. Now let's go a little bit further forward. You can either stay on your knees or you can come up to a plank pose with your wrists below your shoulders and your hips sort of at the similar height to your shoulders, and spread those shoulder blades apart, sort of pushing the ground away. drop your knees, drop your elbows, and slide along up into Sphinx pose. Your elbows below your shoulders, like the Sphinx. Keep your butt flexed so that it's easier on your back, and don't push so hard. If you can only push again. We're finding our limit. If you wanted to go more, you could go into seal and push right up. But because my SI is locked, this is pretty intense, anyways, as we are. Just a couple of breaths here. Now your left hand on a 45-degree angle, and your right foot come up. And from this, we're pushing out of our shoulder, and we're pulling our foot to our heel to our butt, and feeling that stretch. It's almost a little twist and a stretch. One more breath in. Slowly release. Don't let it slingshot to the ground. Let's do the other side, the right hand on the 45. And that's way harder for me here. Pushing up out of our shoulder, and this is sort of where as far as I can go. Maybe you can do more, maybe you can do less. Maybe you can't grab your foot, that's okay too. Maybe you're just pushing up. And ease off if it's too much. That's a lot of me. And slowly release your legs so it doesn't slingshot to the ground. Put your hands together in front and just put your forehead on your forearms, and just move your hips back and forth. Just sort of try to loosen what's going on. I can sort of feel resistance every time I push left, and right there's none. And left is, of course, the side I got hit on in the car. Now I'll go back up to child's pose whilst we're here. Go slow, and again, see what your child's pose looks like. And then child's pose is a good place to go from there. Tuck your toes and go up to a downward dog if you can. And this is one of the ones that's really frustrating to me because I was so far ahead. So bend your knees and get your back straight in line with your hips rather than trying to concentrate on keeping your legs straight. This is where I'm glad I have a good grippy mat. Inhale, put your right leg to the sky. And then let's see if you can bend your leg over and straighten again. And then let's try and bring your knee to your right elbow-ish. Keep it up. And then put it off to the side for our lizard lunge. And this, to me, is what opens your hips more than anything. Again, my right side I'm going to be able to find with this. I can sort of just move around, feel where I want to stretch, feel that it's been a little while, and that's okay. And then I'm going to put my right foot the blade of it and just push into there as well. Keep breathing through your nose. And last breath. Okay, and let's move our back leg up behind, and we'll do a little seated twist here. So Right leg behind, right arm behind you, left leg to the sky, and just twist around there. You can put your elbow around, you can put your forearm, you can hold onto your shin. We're just trying to get the sensation of a twist here. Okay, release, facing forward again. Plant your two hands there, and your back left leg goes, and then your right leg goes back up again, and back down to downward dog. Bended leg for me this time. Straighten them if you can for yourself. We'll do the other side. So left leg to the sky. Man, see, that's what I can't do so much. Open stack your hips. Back to three-legged dog. And then your knee to your elbow. So to hold it there, keep your shoulder blades apart. And then let's set our right foot down and do lizard lunge on the other side. And just find out where it feels comfortable. Don't overstretch. You can always set your knee down if you want. And you can go on the blade of your foot as well. And back to there. Let's do a twist on this side. So left arm behind you, right arm, inhale up, and then exhale. Hook whatever you can around your elbow, your knee here, and just feel that stretch. Feel that twist. And each inhale gets a little bit of space, and each exhale allows you to twist just a little bit more. Last breath in, and then out, and relax back to the front. Plant your hands, your right leg goes back, and your left leg goes back into the air as it can, and then back to downward dog. And then let's walk to the front of the mat into a forward fold. Just let yourself hang. For me, I gotta bend my legs a little bit again. And then bend your knees all the way down, arms all the way up to the top. Get some sun on your face. Back to the center, up again. And then forward fold again. And then I'm going to sit down into a squat. Put your elbows inside your thighs. I find just a little bit of pressure for some reason helps me. And just get a little stable here and just feel how that feels. Maybe you can't do that. Like don't push this, but apparently this is a good thing to work up to. For me, it actually does feel great, and that pushing open of your thighs can sort of just takes pressure off my back a little bit. And I'll come back down as graceful as I ever roll back onto my back into happy baby, the outside of your feet or behind your legs or anywhere that you can grab. And we're not pulling. It's just almost like you're allowing your knees rather to sort of fall into your armpits there, and you can sort of move back and forth, like side to side, and sort of focus on rolling out the back of your spine a little bit. This is all opening up everything if you can. But maybe you can't do this. Maybe you're just putting your feet up. Maybe you're just holding your knees into your chest. And then let's try our right leg over our left for figure four. Your hands go through and grab onto your shin if you can, or anywhere behind your thigh, on top of you, and lean to your left a little bit, and you'll feel that in your right hip as you pull forward. Even though that doesn't look stretched, like I can really feel that in my right hip. Now keep your legs crossed over still. And this is that twisted root. So lying on your side, rest your left hand on there and put your right arm back and see how far you can look over. It doesn't have to go flat. It's just relaxing and inhale in, and then an exhale will maybe allow you to do just a millimeter more. And last breath in. Now help your knees up to your chest. And now let's squeeze ourselves into almost just realign your spine a little bit. Now put your left leg over your right and put your arms through wherever you can and lean a little bit onto your right and pull up. It's awesome. Last breath in. And then we're going to do twisted root on the other side. So keep your legs crossed. You can do it supine, just keep your knees together as well if that's easier. Cross over, your right arm just resting on your left thigh, and then this arm sort of stretching out. And you're not straining at all. Your gravity is doing enough, and you can be feeling that right here in a twist in your back. This is where I'm all locked. Here you go. Okay, let's come back to center now. The dog's barking because people are swimming. Again, your knees to your chest, and then just pull yourself up and let's hold that for 5 seconds. Just hold your breath. Now let's extend our legs to the corners of your mat or your space. Your hands up, much like you were before. Now the weight's off your feet. Your shoulders tucked underneath. And this is that corpse's pose, just lying there. There's no stress at all. Let your breathing return to where it wants to be. Just feel where you're tingling, feel where you stretched a little bit. And let's keep on doing this journey together. And sometimes we're going to want to stop, and sometimes you're going to want to give up. And there's really no such thing as giving up. We just keep going forward no matter what. Thanks for coming by.
Always talk to your healthcare professional before starting a new regime. If you experience pain, discomfort, or dizziness, slow down or stop. These videos will become easier each day, but if it doesn't feel right today, go slower or move to another video. Listen to your body.